All right, welcome to the call, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you could join us. I'd like to welcome all of you to Origin LGNS, which is an innovative Web3 staking protocol that's changing lives of over 1 million people all around the world. We're going to show you all the facts and all the details in the next few minutes. You're about to experience the power of decentralized finance, and that's finance without the middleman. So let's just talk about this for a moment to help you kind of wrap your mind around this. So, we've all got bank accounts. We deposit money in the bank, and we know that the bank uses that money to fund mortgages, business loans, car payments, car loans, right? We know that they also trade on the stock market, but they don't share those profits with us. In fact, they pay us very little for the money that we deposit into those accounts. Well, suppose when you made a deposit in the bank that they actually shared a percentage of those profits with you. So you became a partner of the bank instead of a customer of the bank. That's what decentralized finance is all about. It allows you and I to become a partner with a Pacific protocol, and the difference is life-changing, as you're about to see. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we're going to start off and we're going to talk about something known as staking. Now, staking is not new. It's been around as long as cryptocurrency has been around. You might be familiar with a company called Coinbase. Coinbase is sort of like a crypto bank. They treat people pretty much the same way that banks treat people, right? And they keep the bulk of the profits. But I'm going to play a little short video by them as an introduction to this topic of staking to help you understand what this is all about. All right, let's watch this short video.
Did you know eligible Coinbase users can earn rewards by staking eligible assets? Staking is a process by which asset holders can earn rewards by helping verify transactions on a blockchain such as Ethereum, Solana, or Tezos. Rewards vary and are determined by the blockchain protocol, minus a Coinbase fee. Learn more about the benefits of staking on coinbase.com/earn. Start staking your eligible assets and earn rewards today.
All right, so on today's call, we're going to show you how to stake without dealing with the middleman. We're going to show you how to go direct to the source, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to learn about the power of technology to create supplemental daily income without recruiting, without selling, and without trading. And it gives you and I the ability to grow our wealth long term, and you don't have to talk to anyone. So we're going to talk about the power of compound interest, which is the eighth wonder of the world. Let's talk about that for just a moment because this is very important. A lot of us, we pay compound interest, but we don't earn it because we don't know where to go in order to do that. So what is compound interest? It is powerful because it allows you and I, it allows your money to grow exponentially over time, meaning you earn interest on both the original deposit and the interest that has already been added to it. All right, so here's why it's so powerful. Interest on interest. With simple interest, you can only earn interest on the initial amount. With compound interest, you earn interest on the initial amount plus the interest that you have already earned. Each period, your base gets even larger. So here's an example. Let's say you deposited $1,000 into a protocol that paid you 10% per year. With simple interest, if you did the math on that, that's about $1,000, right? But if it was compounded, ladies and gentlemen, now you're looking at over $2,500, nearly a $600 difference. All right, that's the power of compounding. So there's also the time factor. You have to understand when you're doing compounding, you need time as your ally. The longer you compound, the greater the results that you get. Compounding in time is the magic ingredient. Time supercharges the compound interest. The longer you leave your money, the more it accumulates, even if you stop adding new money. Another way that you can increase things, ladies and gentlemen, is if you do add additional funds over time. You can actually accelerate the compounding by doing that. And so compounding can work against you like it does on our mortgages and our credit cards and our car loans. If you don't make principal payments, they will literally eat you alive. I think most of us are familiar with that, but we're going to show you how to use compounding in your favor through this concept called staking. All right. So now, Albert Einstein, he allegedly said this. He said that compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So we want to be on the earning side. We're going to show you how to do that tonight. Now, the information provided here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Participation in this crypto staking protocol involves risk. In fact, there's risk in everything in life. There's risk when we get up in the morning and put our feet on the floor. We understand that. Now, cryptocurrency values can be volatile, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Staking rewards are not guaranteed and are subject to change based on network conditions and protocol parameters and market fluctuations. This protocol does not constitute investment, financial, tax, or legal advice. Users should conduct their own research and consult with qualified advisors before participating. By using this service, you acknowledge that you understand and accept these risks. You are solely responsible for your funds and decisions. The developers and participants of this protocol are not liable for any losses, damages, or adverse outcomes resulting from the use of this protocol. Participation is strictly by invitation only, and posting on social media is discouraged. As always, use caution and only stake what you can afford to lose. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it. So I want to talk with you about the new financial system, ladies and gentlemen, that is brought about because of cryptocurrency. What you have to understand is that the fiat system, that money that's produced by the Federal Reserve, which is a group of banks, by the way, that money is produced at will by them. It doesn't hurt them. It just hurts you and I. We work so hard to get it, and we work so hard to save it. But when they produce unlimited amounts of quantities of currency, it reduces the value that we work so hard to get. But cryptocurrency is just the opposite. It's produced in limited quantities. The more that people use it, it drives the value up. That's why one Bitcoin is worth over $111,000. Who would have even thought? Cryptocurrency is the people's money. But most people, they've heard about it. They don't quite understand it. But more importantly, they don't own any. So they're missing out. But tonight, we're going to talk about a concept called staking that very little people know about. Let's get into it. So we're going to talk about staking, decentralized finance, a decentralized autonomous organization, and a concept called smart contracts. So what is staking? So imagine that you have some money, but instead of letting it sit in your wallet doing nothing, you put it in a type of a savings account where you are rewarded with interest. Well, staking works very similar to that, except it's with cryptocurrency. So how does staking work? You deposit crypto. Your crypto helps secure a specific network. You become what's known as a liquidity provider. The blockchain network uses your staked crypto to validate transactions and to keep things running smoothly. You get rewards. In return for staking, the network rewards you with more cryptocurrency, just like earning interest in a bank. So how do you make money from staking? You earn new coins. The network regularly pays you a percentage of your staked crypto as a reward. And then there's compound growth. Your deposits grow even more over time because of compounding. And then there's price growth. If the value of the cryptocurrency increases, your stake assets and rewards also become more valuable. So staking is a great way to earn extra money with your crypto while you do nothing. It's like a magic piggy bank that gives you more coins just for keeping them inside. But here's the thing. You've got access to your money at all times, ladies and gentlemen. You can withdraw all of it or a part of it. It'll be in your wallet within seconds. There's just a 5% withdrawal fee. So I know people who have CDs and their money is locked down for 2 and 3 years and they cannot touch it. Even by paying a penalty, there's no penalty. You just can't touch it. It's totally locked down, but that's not the way it is here. So now, what is decentralized finance? Well, it's better known as DeFi. And it's a way that average people can use money and financial services like saving, borrowing, investing, and earning interest without needing a bank or a middleman. Instead, it runs on a secure technology called the blockchain, which allows people to deal directly with each other using cryptocurrency. Think of it like this. Instead of going through a bank to send money, earn interest, or get a loan, decentralized finance lets you and I do it using our phones and our computers. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it's available 24/7, and you don't have to ask permission from anyone. It's money for the people, run by computer code, not corporations. It's the future of finance that's happening right now that most people know very little about. So what is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization? It's like an online community where rules are written in computer code. Instead of one person making all the decisions, the group decides together using blockchain technology. The rules and the decisions are locked in a secure system that can't be changed behind anyone's back. Imagine a club that runs itself. No managers, no middlemen, just members who vote on the direction of the group, where everything is transparent, it's automated, and it's based on what the majority agrees to do. And finally, what is a smart contract? A smart contract is like a digital vending machine that runs on the blockchain. You put something in like money or crypto, and if the right conditions are met, it automatically does what it's programmed to do. No person needed to approve or to run it. It's a self-executing agreement, ladies and gentlemen. It's built on code instead of lawyers. It is trustworthy, it is automatic, and it is tamper-proof. All right, so what makes this project, Origin LGNS, unique? A proven track record. This development team has been at this for over 5.5 years. Their first project, Olympus Ohm, is still running, has been running for 4 years, and we're going to show you that here in just a moment. This project, Longinus LGNS, has been running successfully for over 19 months. We're going to look at that as well. All of this without a CEO, no headquarters, and yet, as of today, the project and the community continues to grow as you are about to see. What you're about to see is real, it is long-term, and it's verifiable. So, people lie, but numbers don't lie. The liquidity pool is over $333 million. The market cap is over $3.9 billion. Over $31 million have been traded over the last 24 hours, and there are over 1.47 million wallets from individuals all around the world connected to this, and is growing every single day. So the computer code or the contract is verified, is audited by multiple third parties, and it is renounced. What does that mean? No one can go in, they can't change the contract, and they cannot touch the money. This is very, very important. You and I have the ability to withdraw all of our money or a part of it at any time. It'll be in our wallet within seconds. And this platform has some lucrative bonus pools. We're going to talk about that pays out millions of dollars a week. And an optional referral program, should you decide to share this with others, you can tap into some really good leverage and some additional income that could be life-changing for you and your family. All right, so we're looking at this site right now. It's origindefi.io. You can't get in it without a referral link. We're looking at some of the numbers. The treasury balance is over $329 million. The number of LGNS that are currently being staked is over 317 million. And the fund where the rewards and the compounding are paid out of is over $4 billion, ladies and gentlemen. The current APY is over 1,100%. What does that mean? You have the potential of your money doubling 11 times within 1 year without you talking to anyone. All right, we're going to go a little deeper now. I'm going to provide you with a website with a lot of third-party resources. You can take a screenshot or you can write it down, plantofreedom.info. On this website, we're going to go there live in a moment. There's a ton of third-party resources that you can review in the comfort of your home. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to go straight to the internet right now. All right, so you can see the website address, plantofreedom.info. So this is where you can come. The first thing you're going to see is a complete overview. On tonight's call, we're going to keep it relatively short, in the interest of your time, because we value your time. But if you want to take a deep dive, you can go here to this website and watch these videos. Everything here, everything you need is on this page. All right, so you've got that. You've got the white pages as well. But I have to tell you, the thing that means the most to me is this right here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the audits. So Origin has officially passed multiple audits by 2 global authoritative bodies. These are the experts in the field. They did a full chain audit of the contract, the computer code. That was done by a company called Certec. And the treasury where all the money is held, you saw that earlier, that was audited by Armors. And that money can't be touched by anyone. You have to understand, if there was something wrong here, they would have ran off with that money a long time ago. It never would have got to billions of dollars. That only makes sense, doesn't it? That's right, because it's protected and it is locked down. All right, so this is important to me because I want to be able to sleep at night and I don't want to share anything with anyone that I haven't vetted myself. All right, so this is doing extremely well. Now, the other thing that you're going to see here, you're going to see the contract address. When you go to this address, you can see everything and all the numbers that are associated with this protocol. All right, but before we get there, let's go take a look at a couple more things. I want to go to the first project that is still running that was created by this development team over 5 years ago. It's called Olympus Ohm. You can see the current value of this. Now we're in a decentralized exchange called DEX Tools. The link for this is right on that information page, right? And so I want you to see here, this contract is on the Ethereum blockchain. So Bitcoin is the most popular cryptocurrency in the world. Ethereum is number 2. But the Ethereum blockchain has a few challenges. The fees are relatively high and the transactions are relatively slow. And so as that began to happen, the development team went back to the drawing board and created a better protocol, which is the one that we are using right now. It's called LGNS Longinus. And I want you to see here the current value of the coin is $11.52. And you can see here for the last month, the price has been very stable and it has been going up because this protocol, ladies and gentlemen, is about to release something very, very powerful. It's about to happen any day now. We're going to talk about it in a few moments. So we are right here at the very beginning while they were working everything out. But now everything is extremely solid. It's the perfect time to join this platform. But let's look at the numbers because you can see we're live on the internet right now. So you can see the liquidity pool is over $336 million. The market cap, $4.2 billion. I want you to see this. The number of holders, 1.49 million. It's increased since the last time I looked at this. It's almost 1.5 million wallets connected to this from people all around the world. Is growing every single day. And you can see that this protocol was launched on March the 6th, 2024. We're talking about Longinus LGNS. Now, when you go back to the origin page, the Plan to Freedom page, you can see right here, one of the ways that you can verify this contract is by going to a third-party website called Avi AI. And when you click on this, it will take you to this page right here. So this is a company that verifies smart contracts. So this is very important. The first thing you want to notice is all these green checks right here. So green is good. Green means go. You notice it says renounced. Renounce. What does that mean? They can't go in and they can't change things, ladies and gentlemen. The contract is open source. Anyone can see the numbers. The developers cannot tamper with the balance. They can't touch the money. It's locked down. All right. Admin privileges haven't been abandoned and the developers can't take back ownership because this computer code, this protocol belongs to the world, just like Bitcoin belongs to the world, ladies and gentlemen. So this is very, very important what I'm showing you here. But now let's go ahead and take a look at a few numbers. Now, I hope you've got your calculator because we're going to talk about compound interest. Now, what I'm looking at right now is a real account. All right. So first thing I want you to take a look at, I want you to make a note of the current value of the coin, all right, which is $11.52. All right, 11.52. So just keep that in mind. All right. So now let's go back to the contract. So here is a live account. So first thing I want you to see is that this account has 589 LGNS staked. So that would be 589 times 1152. You put your cursor on this little I, and you can see the value of this account, $6,807. All right. So we're just going to round it off. We're going to say $6,800. So I'm going to show you with $6,800 staked in this platform can do for you. I want you to remember, you've got access to this money at any time. You have an emergency, something comes up, you need it, you can get it. It'll be in your wallet within seconds, minus a 5% withdrawal fee. Okay, so let's take a look at a few things here. First thing, we want to look at the net reward yield. This is the compounding rate. Okay, let me enlarge my screen just a little bit. I want to make sure everybody can see these numbers right here. So this is the compounding rate. It is 0.2280. What does that mean? Your deposit is going to compound at that rate every 8 hours. What you earn tomorrow is more than what you earn today. What you earn the day after tomorrow is more than what you earn tomorrow because of the power of compound interest. All right, so this is huge. You can also see the 5-day rate is over 3.4766. All right, and that's huge because I don't know, you probably don't know any place where you can get that kind of a rate, right? So very, very powerful. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy the number of LGNS that are here. And we know this is about $6,800. And we're going to go down to a calculator to see what the potential is. Now, again, everything I'm showing you is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is not a guarantee of earning. You need to know that these numbers vary. Why? Because we're dealing with the market that varies. It goes up and down, right? What you're going to see here is the potential. You want to be in the ballpark, right? That's what you're about to see here. All right. So now I'm going to put in the number of LGNS, and we know the value of this is $6,800. So imagine you had $6,800 staked here that was earning this rate every 8 hours. What could that potentially do for you? All right. So in 1 week, that $6,800 would grow to $7,141. That 589 LGNS would grow to 618 LGNS. So go ahead and pull out your calculator. Let's do a little math. We will take 7,141 and subtract 6,800 from it. And we'll come up with $341. So that $6,800 you staked produced $341 worth of income for you without you doing anything. Why? Because you partnered with the protocol, right? And so that, guess what? That 6,800 is still there. And if you wanted, you could withdraw that 341 so that what? You could earn it again next week. Are you with me? All right, let's go a little further. Let's say that you had $6,100 staked here and you let it compound for 1 month. Remember, compounding works the longer you allow it to work. You have to allow time to be time, right? So now you got time working for you. You notice how we say, time sure flies. So we know the time is going to go by, but are you in position to benefit from the time going by, right? So now let's take a look at this. You got $6,800. You let it compound for 30 days or 1 month. Guess what? That account has now grown to 723 LGNS or to $8,356. So let's do the math on that again. We got 8,356 minus 6,800. So what just happened? You just created an income of $1,500 without you doing anything. It's literally your money working for you. And you've got access to this money at any time. You can withdraw all of it or part of it. It'll be in your wallet within seconds. So you could withdraw that $1,500, leave the $6,800 in here so it can produce that income for you next month. All right. What could an additional $1,500 a month coming in here doing for you without you having to work a second job? Wouldn't that be awesome? But let's go a little further. Let's say you let this compound for 6 months. All right. So, compounding is all about time. The longer you allow time to work, the more that you earn when you start talking about compound interest. So look at this. From 589 LGNS to over 2,000 LGNS. $6,800, right? To 23,286. Let's do the math. All right. So again, we've got 23,286 minus 6,800. Hopefully you got your calculator, you're doing math right along with me. That's $16,000. What could you do with an extra $16,000? You could maybe buy you a really nice car. All right. It'll be used, but that's okay in this day and age because cars are expensive. Maybe you pay off that current car loan that you have, take a vacation that you deserve. All right, just to give you an idea. But let's go a little further. Suppose you allow this to compound for an entire year. What could this $6,800 potentially do for you based on these numbers? And again, these numbers are going to vary because we're dealing with a market that varies. But still, don't you want to be in this ballpark anywhere near this? Wouldn't that be great for you? All right. So $6,800 in 1 year. Look at this, everybody. That's $82,000 from $6,800. That's an 11-fold increase. In this example, your money would have doubled potentially 11 times. So let's do the math on that. All right. You still with me? 82,421 minus 6,800. That's $75,000. All right. So now let's go ahead and break down some smaller numbers. All right. So let's just say, first question is, what is the minimum deposit that you could stake here? It's $125, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take 125, we're going to divide it by the current value of the coin, which is 1152. So you have two variables, the value of the coin and also the compounding rate. Okay, so we go ahead and divide that, and we come out with 1085. So that's 10.85 LGNS. All right, so that 125, you put it in here, you let it compound for an entire year, and that 125, that could potentially grow to $1,500. That's a pretty good Christmas fund, 125 bucks. Not bad, right? But let's go a little further. What about $500? So we're going to do the same math. So we're going to take $500, divide it by 1152 to see how many LGNS that we're going to get. We're going to get 43.4, right? So that's $500. You let it compound for an entire year. Look what you've got. $6,000 from $500. That same money that you spent on that purse, right? Or that maybe that suit or that leather jacket you bought, but instead of it disappearing, right? You put it to work and it's compounding for you $6,000 in this example. So what about 1,000? That's going to multiply that times 2, right? And that's just going to be double. So that'd be 86.4. And you can see that $1,000, look at that, 12K, right? That's pretty powerful. That's over 11-fold gain. But let's start talking about some real money. What about $5,000? Maybe you got $5,000, buried in the backyard somewhere. You've got an old car out there that you haven't used, and maybe, you decide you want to sell it to put that money to work, right? So we take $5,000 divided by 1152, and now we've got 434 LGNS. What could 5,000 do for you based on these numbers? That's over 60K from 5,000. That's the power of compound interest working in your behalf. All right. And finally, let's do 10,000. Just multiply that times 2, and that is 868. 868. All right. What could that potentially do for you? That's 6 figures. Maybe there's a house that you want to buy and you need 100K. Maybe you want to pay off your existing mortgage and you need 100K. You want to send a child to a great school. That's your 6 figures right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's just an example. And there are many ways that you can interface with this based on your goals. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. All right, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint because I've got a few more things I need to show you that you absolutely need to see so that you can understand how powerful this is. So I'm back on the black screen right now. You should see plantofreedom.info. If you can see that, type a 3 in the chat box. I want to make sure everybody can see my page and make sure we're all on the same page. Do you see Plan to Freedom on the screen? Okay, great. Thank you again, Billy. Billy's on the job, man. He's quick with the keypad. Thank you, Billy. All right, so again, here's the information website, plantofreedom.info. All right, let's go forward. So here's the thing you need to understand. Should you decide to share this with others, it can absolutely be life-changing for you. So I believe in code, currency, and community. So you can leverage your money. We just showed you how to leverage your money through staking. But guess what? You can also leverage a community, ladies and gentlemen. Every program, company, product, or service has a community of people that support it. The money for anything, it comes from a community of supporters. The same thing here. All right. Should you decide to share this with others, you can tap into what we call spider web rewards. Unlimited number of people direct to you. You can qualify to receive rewards going down 15 levels, and this can be life-changing for you should you decide to share this with others. Not only do you have access to the spiderweb rewards, but if you are a leader and you can build 3 teams, you can tap into these bonuses. And these bonuses enable you to get anywhere from 1% to 30% additional bonus on the entire volume of your entire community that you have built over time. Again, this is life-changing. In addition to that, every time you contribute at least 101 DAI to this platform, and a DAI is equivalent to $1. So every time you contribute at least $101 to this staking platform, you are automatically entered into reward pools. The weekly reward pool, which pays out once a week, pays out over $2 million every single week. And it has been paying out millions of dollars since the very beginning. All right. So no cost for you to do that. You just click a button and enter. All right. Now, Origin is not just about staking, ladies and gentlemen. That's first base. Origin is about to release something that's very, very powerful, the world's first stable privacy coin. You know, in this world, we don't have any privacy anymore. There are cameras everywhere, all right? They can see what we're doing on social media. They can see what we're doing on our phones, okay? There's very little privacy anymore in the world, and especially when it comes to your money. But suppose there was a way that you could transact business in complete privacy. Well, it's actually available right now. The number 1 privacy coin in the market is called Monero. And let's just talk about it for a moment because it's important that you have an education. Monero was launched in 2014, and its goal is simple: to allow transactions to take place privately and with anonymity. Even though it was commonly thought in the very beginning that when you did business with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that your identity was concealed. But we found out that it's actually very easy to trace your payments back to their original source. They can see everything that you've done in your account, how much you've sent out, how much you've had. They can even see who you sent it to. So there's no privacy at all. But with this coin, Monero, there is privacy because this coin, which is also known as XMR, is designed to obscure senders and recipients alike through the use of advanced cryptography. But this coin value is driven by the market. You can see it right here. It's number 26 out there. But you can see the value of the coin goes up and down because it's driven by the market. And so when you go to send it out to someone, they might not get what you sent them because the value could have dropped, like you see on this big dip right here. Well, suppose you had a privacy coin that maintained its value at $1. So when you send it to someone, that's exactly what they would receive. Well, that's what Origin is in the process of releasing right now, the world's first privacy stablecoin that maintains its value at all times. So they've already accumulated over $14 million in the liquidity pool to release this coin. And here's the thing, the LGNS, that coin that we are, using right now with the current value of $11.52, that coin is going to be used for the gas of the stable coin. And so what do you think is going to happen to the value of that LGNS once this stable coin is released, which can be happening any week now? We're very close. Well, most of us believe it's going to drive the value up, which is going to cause us to be more profitable in our staking business, ladies and gentlemen. So we're very excited about that. They're also releasing an A-Pay payment system, which will allow you to pay bills in privacy. In phase 3, they'll be releasing their own exchange. And of course, that's going to provide a lot of more resources to this platform because we pay a lot of money when we exchange one crypto for another, and those proceeds will come into this platform. They'll also be releasing a decentralized banking protocol where you can lend out your crypto and then real world assets. They'll be providing that tokenized real world assets coming down the road as well. So here's our webinar schedule. We do this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can simply go to plantofreedom.com to join the webinars, plantofreedom.info to go to the information page. Well, guess what? That concludes our overview, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate you being on this call. From time to time, we'll do trainings. Once you join us, we'll invite you to those trainings and those Q&A sessions. Tonight's call is just an information session, but if you do have questions, reach out to the person who invited you here. They'll get all your questions answered, and they'll take the time to walk you through the onboarding process so that you can join us and start earning those staking rewards as early as tonight.